Adrian from AWSI here. I was going to talk you through some of our new products. I'm going to start with the Tempo with the titanium fuselage. This is a new project that we started about a year ago when we released the Fireball. So the Fireball was our downwind race setup, and we were basically starting to work on the next thing on from that. We were going a lot more high aspect. We'd already experimented with the black fuselage on higher aspect, and we knew that's where we wanted to go. But to create that, we had to come up with a new, sleeker fuselage system. So this system here, this is all titanium, and this top plate here is stainless steel, and that lifts up, and this is stainless steel. So the grub screws go in from the bottom, and that actually expands this and creates the joint on the front. So that front wing has got 2 holes in it. So that just goes into there, and then the grub screws go in, and the rear wing goes on. And that goes on. This just tightens up, and you basically just do it finger tight to start with. And then to lock that on there, you just put that key in and do a 1/4 of a turn. And that expands from the inside. And when that's bolted together, you know, it's totally rigid on there. These wings, 16 aspect ratio, very high aspect, very low drag, very, very thin. There's no room for a core on the wing. And to get this wing stiff enough, like this is ultra high modulus carbon, very, very thin, but very, very rigid. Same for the rear wing. And with something this high aspect and this thin, you can't get away with a fat fuselage. So we had to basically build that new fuselage system to work with that. The fuselage system itself, you can see those grub screws that I've tightened up. When they tighten up, they hit this plate. They expand that plate from the inside, which actually locks it on there. On top of that, we've also built an aluminium fuselage that fits on the back so that you can use some of our old existing wings. So that covers all of that. This here, the 2 screws are actually underneath this plate. So you have to undo this cover plate, do your 2 screws up, and then that bolts back down to cover that up, make that smooth. Putting that onto the end of your mast, most people leave that on there. So we've got a little cover that fits on, so when that's on the end of the mast, if it falls over, it protects the titanium from damaging the titanium or your car. That's kind of covered that. This was designed primarily for downwind racing, and in the Hawaii racing this year, most of the races, in the top 20, there was 9 riders on this setup. So absolutely, it performs for downwind racing. But aside from that, it's actually a very easy riding setup that's fast, comfortable, surfy, and really fun to ride. This is our new pocket trench foil drive board and integrated mast. The integrated mast is going to come in ultra high modulus and high modulus. The high modulus is really well suited for lighter riders with smaller span wings. The ultra high modulus is better for bigger span wings, and it's obviously stiffer, but it is more expensive. So we've got 2 options in that. This new foil drive board, when the batteries and everything's in here, this is absolutely smooth. So this is at the same level, very little drag. The box, we've only got 2 mils clearance either side, so there's not much volume taken out of the board. You run your battery down, time to take the battery out, you just back these screws off a little bit, slide that back, lift it out. Dry the unit, put the new battery back in there again, stick it back in, slide it together, nip the bolts up. So it's very, very quick to change over, very little drag. The board itself is, all of this area here is fiberglass. The tracks themselves are fiberglass, so there's no signal blocking from that. And on the deck of the board, this area here is all glass, this is all glass. So you get a perfect transmission signal through the board. The board's made in a mold and CNC cut core and pre-preg carbon. So it's been cured at 130 degrees Celsius. Closed cell foam, so if you get a ding, it's not going to suck water. You don't need a vent, and it's happy to sit in the sun, even though it's black carbon. So very, very light, very strong, nice setup.